Don't really know what these are for, but they're kind of cool. So here's a video. The chair and the bed, they were just right, were mama bears, but the porridge throws it off. So therefore, the more correct answer is Goldilocks, because she found the one that was just right every time.
Just right for Goldilocks. That doesn't make sense.
Spotted like girls in Greece.
Why are there hands going on? That's creepy.
I like it to water. That's the sea. There it is. That's Alexander the Great. Actually, it's his butt. Ready?
Yeah. Hello!
Say hi, Evan.
Hello.
This is Evan.
Evan's here.
Evan is in Hurlickston.
Shay and I had our first weekend apart since January.
Do we have issues? I don't know.
So I went to Thessaloniki, Greece, which is in the north of Greece, and I went with Becca and Andy, and we stayed the night in the Gatwick airport.
I love you, Shay. I'm sad you're not here. You can't have my blanket.
Then we got on a plane and went to Thessaloniki. And so then we land in Thessaloniki, Greece, which is where Mount Olympus is. It's a beautiful view when you're flying, and you've got like Mount Olympus, and then you've got like the red thatched roofs, and you've got like the terrain is all rugged, and you can see like vineyards. English is not the first language here, which I don't know why we thought it would be, but it's definitely Greek. We stayed in an Airbnb, it was like a 2-story house that we had all to ourselves.
Made it.
Welcome home. Good.
Here's our lovely living room. We watched Frozen right there. There's Kelly.
Hello.
Here's the kitchen that we haven't really used so far. Upstairs, here's where Becca and I sleep. There's our view of the city. It's pretty great.
We walked around a little bit that day. Tried gyros. We walked around like to the Aristoteles Square, just along the waterfront on the port. Got up the next morning and walked around the city more, took a tour. We're about to go on a bus tour. This is our bus. That's Greece. That's all the trees. It's just no, there's some over there. Went to the White Tower, which is like the landmark of Thessaloniki. Did a little bit of shopping, met some Greek people, ate more food, and then Saturday night we went to a market. This was actually really cool. We went to this market that was like an open air market and got fresh food and like fresh cucumber and feta cheese and tomatoes, and made like a fresh Greek salad, literally Greek salad, and got some chicken and some pasta, and I got some baklava that was amazing. But general rule of thumb for Thessaloniki and Greece, I guess in general, if a street goes downhill, it will take you to water eventually. Got on our plane and went to London, where we ran into these idiots.
Thanks.
Not going in the vlog.
That's not going in the vlog. Well, we have to go back to Grantham, and they're gonna take the camera for the weekend, for the couple days. Aww.
So I go and pick up Evan at London Heathrow. See him, and I go over, we like have a big reunion in Heathrow. And how long were you traveling then?
12 hours, I guess. Not that bad.
So I've been traveling for 12 hours, and then I was like, we have to get on the tube with all of our luggage and go to our apartment. And we start walking to where we think our apartment is. We're passing all these people, and it's kind of creepy, and then they're like eyeing us, and like we stick out really bad, and we're just kind of like, oh, this is weird.
It was all residential. Like there's nobody, like no hotels, nothing.
And like we go in, and there's all these really creepy pictures that were not in the photos. The ceiling was cracked. Hello, this is Shaylin and Evan, and we have to talk about our experience that just happened.
I was creeped out by it.
We got in a hotel, and we booked a hotel, which we are now in. We walked like I showed up and like we went to King's Cross and we just kind of like walked around outside and we went to a pub. It was fun. And the next morning we got up and we did Tower of London. Where are we?
The Tower of London. So I always thought the Tower of London was like one tower, and it's not. It's like a whole castle fortress, so that was neat to see. And I really like history, so that was like the main history thing I guess I got to see.
Your parents would have looked after you as parents always should, and I'm sure do. Because they would have taken you to a public execution. You'd have had a nice packed lunch and you'd have gone and watched another man die. Brilliant.
To be a yeoman, you have to put in X amount of years of service to the Queen. And the guy that did our tour had done 37 years of service before he became a yeoman.
And these beefeaters, they're like the only people that are allowed to walk with their backs to the Queen. Like, so they, like in the procession, they're like the first people.
Wow.
It's like a big honor to be one of them, even though their name is
That's
silly.
so interesting.
And we saw where Anne Boleyn was beheaded.
A lot of people were beheaded.
A lot of people were beheaded there. Yeah, so we saw the crown jewels. They were really freaking big and kind of scary, impressive. And like all their silver. And
Punch bowls made out of solid gold that were like...
you could fit 144 bottles of wine
Yeah.
in it. And you're like, they had a really cool military exhibit, like where they showed all the armor.
Oh yeah.
Evan was really disappointed in the London Bridge.
But the old, like the real London Bridge had like houses on it and stuff, and it was cool. And then they redid it, and it's just like a basic, like everyday bridge that's flat. The Tower Bridge is like that iconic one.
Yeah, the Tower Bridge is cool.
That's what everyone thinks is London
Yeah.
Bridge.
Right.
That
So
aren't
he
from
goes,
there.
that's the London Bridge. And I'm like, that's the Tower Bridge. That's the London Bridge. And he was like, what? We came across a Southwark Cathedral.
Okay.
We did a tour of the globe that day, right?
So in Ohio, so you just couldn't understand why there wasn't something like that in London, the very city where Shakespeare lived and worked for most of his life and career.
We came in and had dinner with you guys.
Yeah, we did.
We saw Big Ben though. On our way back, we like walked across the bridge, and the Westminster Bridge, and we saw Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, the London Eye.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then we got up the next morning,
Yeah, we did.
tried to find Abbey Road, and got really, really, really lost. Yep, we just did that. Evan, how long have we been trying to get to Abbey Road?
One time.
It was cool because we got to see the part of London that is non-touristy, that is straight up like business,
Really?
like huge,
residential.
right?
That's awesome.
It was like J.P. Morgan,
Barclays,
CNC, Barclays. Yeah, like huge skyscraper things.
I was gonna say was half these like buildings, like tall skyscrapers, were on a what's it called?
Wharf.
Yeah, but it was like a standalone like wharf, like out in the middle of the river or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
And we finally got to Abbey Road. How does the world's #1 Beatles fan feel about being here? Feel great? Is it all you wanted and more? Well, I'm really glad that it took us an hour and a half to get here. It was so worth it. Actually, it's a beautiful day. I'm glad that we pushed through to get here. Really good.
I would have been disappointed if somebody didn't come.
And then after that, Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace, Hyde Park.
Well, we're walking through Hyde Park right now, and it looks like this. Isn't it gorgeous? Do you know something? Oh my god.
Did you film that?
Yeah.
And then we went to the market. And
Harrods.
Harrods, we went to Harrods.
Oh
I haven't been yet!
my god.
I've never been to
Harrods is
We
like,
have to go when we go to London.
yeah, we do.
Harrods is like the largest department store in the world.
They had a very large, what was that, like a ceramic egg that was covered in jewels, and it was insane. You see someone that's actually shopping, you're like, well, we walked into like any store, and like the whatever you want to call
people,
it, the store workers, they immediately like look at us like, are they trying to shoplift? Just because like obviously we're not buying anything.
Yeah.
Alright, well the camera died and we are really lazy, don't want to charge it and redo that. So we're just gonna finish from this. If it looks weird,
Sorry.
okay, so we went and saw Phantom of the Opera on the West End, and we were all like official. We like took a cab. Going to Phantom of the Opera. We went to Her Majesty's Theatre and saw the show. Well, Phantom of the Opera is one of the shows in theater that made me realize I love musical theater and had a passion for it. So it was really cool for me to go see that. So I loved it.
Yay! Top 3 things about Greece. The food. The White Tower was really cool. The market we went to was neat. I liked the market a lot.
I liked a lot of it. Tower of London.
Tower of London. Phantom. For sure. Evan and I we saw a whole lot, but we also were kind of relaxed and like we would pass the place and be like, let's go in there and grab a drink, or like that place looks cool, let's go grab some food. And we
just like exploring.
Yeah.
And, like running upon our places that we wanted to go to, but
right.
not so like regimented, like, oh, we're just gonna go straight there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like the whole process.
Yeah. I liked being with Evan.
Mm-hmm.
We called with our parents, and both of our parents, thanks Mom and Dad, and thanks Evan's parents, because we called them and they're like, it's fine, we understand, we just want you to be safe and be happy. Trust your instincts. If something isn't right, it's not right, get out of there.
We have to go eat dinner with our Meta fam and introduce them to Evan.
I'm so hungry.
I am too. Love you and miss you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
That's back on the vlog.
Are you tempted? This is called the Ironing Board Asylum. Moment of silence for all the domestic women.
Not going in the vlog. Chiquito.
We're at Chiquito.
So English.
We're catching a second wind. What do you want?
She almost ran over an old lady.
By the way, this is Evan. Hello.